here we go. Well, welcome to tonight's Back to Basics, Monday night, the 14th of October, and it's at 7 o'clock. So please, for those of you, still get your teams hopping on, those that haven't hopped on yet. And today we're going to be looking at and asking you some questions, and I really would love some participation. So when you participate, please just unmute yourselves and say so, or else what we can do is just type in the chat and then we'll take it from there. So today's topic is, have you ever thought about why perhaps your prospects are in actual fact not biting? What is the reasons? What do you think it could be that maybe just perhaps somehow your prospects are not getting for the close, you're not getting them to a presentation or whatever it might be. So who would like to share from their perspective why they believe their prospects are not? Now, those of you who heard my training on Saturday, you cannot answer now. Okay, there's a few of you on here. But guys, why do you think your prospects are, what is your frustrations? Why do you think your prospects are not engaging with you, perhaps not even getting to a presentation, not watching your videos? Why do you think this could be? Okay, type in chat box or unmute and we'll see what we're going from there. So everybody's happy and nobody's got any complaints. Yes, Keith. Thank you, Keith.
I think that they are just scared of change and scared of something new and just want to carry on in the old way.
Nice one. Really nice one. Love that, Keith. That's really, really truthful. Awesome. And Bernarda says, I think they're afraid of losing their money. That's also truth. Absolute nice truth as well. You're quite right. Anything else? Any other reasons why you think your prospects are just battling to get, I don't know, unless, of course, posture, lack of belief in yourself. Nice one. Nice. Unless it's only just me that's having a problem with my prospects at the moment. Maybe it's just me, hey? Maybe you guys are all closing and please, maybe, well, look, I tell you what, let's swing this around. Maybe you guys should teach us all what you guys are doing. Let's see another one. Posture, lack, I agree, losing money. How's it, Mish? Eugene, good to see you guys. So yes, why do we think that we're because a lot of us are doing a lot of things and we're doing all the right things according to what we've been taught. We've read the GoPro book. We've done everything. What is our fine tuning that we, or I'm going to share with you what I believe and what I did and tweak my fine tuning and how I managed to just one tiny little tweak that I did. And it's created me now with, sorry, I have to talk quietly, my husband says, because I'm actually in a restaurant. Just so that you all know, okay. So he's going, go like this, which means I'm getting passionate again. Okay, so we're, just for those of you who don't know, we're actually away on holiday. And we thought we'd come out, and in the room has no Wi-Fi signal. So what we've had to do is come and find a spot, and the only spot that has Wi-Fi is the restaurant. So we found, so those are not my plates from my house. Okay, right. Andrew says, let's see what Andrew says. Andrew says, comes out of relationship or rapport building with prospect. Absolutely. That is important. Very important. The drought and are scared of being scammed. 100%, Mervyn, I agree with you. They are really scared of being scammed. There is so much going on out there at the moment. And then, of course, when we bring whatever our project is that we bring to them, there's always something that somebody's gone and written something bad about it as well. Okay. Something really bad on the internet or written something ugly. And now we've got to combat against the darkest web, you know, and all those kind of things as well. So who else? Maybe all the negative media. Kitty, I agree with you. Definitely getting scared of the negative media. And it's a big, so how do we, what else? What are other things that we are all fighting? Because, I mean, I'm not the only one out there trying to fight these battles and have the same battles. That, is it a scam? I've gone and checked it, and then they've sent you a picture of a scam that they've read on the internet and moved it across to us and all those kind of things. So there's definitely, okay, we have the internet. It's a wonderful thing. We can't survive without it. A lot of people are uneducated about cryptos. That's right. And scared it's a scam. They're actually scared of the crypto itself. I totally agree with you on that one, Mish. Because the funny thing is, when I started talking to someone the other day, and asked them, what is crypto? They had no clue, but they didn't want to even know anything about it. And I'm like, but they have no clue of what cryptocurrencies actually are. So that's quite a scary thought to think that people are making decisions based on information that they actually don't have. And don't we all do things like that? We all have a tendency to make some of us are very impulsive. They're worried about the layout of money. Paul, I agree with you, because they've worked hard for their income and worked really hard for their money. So it is quite a difficult thing for them to part with this income that they've got. And, you know, especially if we're putting it into something that could be really, really, really scary. According to them, from their perspective, which is cryptocurrency, because it's still the unknown. They buy an emotion, not always based on information. Eugene, I agree with you. People don't have the money to buy in because of the financial crisis the country's in. That is, Bernardo, really honestly, probably one of the truth that is happening out there. And listen, the financial crisis is coming. Okay, Michelle and Eugene were sitting with Robert Kiyosaki just like not so long ago. Mish, just open up and share, you and Eugene, just share, because you guys were in that room with Robert, what he was saying, because it's coming, guys. The financial crisis is coming. We think we're in it now. We think we're in it. Share for the first, Mish.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, look, Robert Kiyosaki is all about fake money, fake assets, fake teachers. And currently, no disrespect to any teachers on the call, my sister-in-law is a teacher and you guys do a remarkable job, but you are being told what to teach our kids. You are being told by the government what to teach our kids. And we are being educated, us and the rest of society, is being educated to get a job, make money. You go to school, you go study, you get a job, you make money, you make debt. And you live in this vicious circle that's manipulated and controlled by the government. And the minute you start breaking free from it, it becomes questionable, okay? And that is why 5% of the world earns what 95% of the world earns. So the 5% that break away are us. What we're doing with cryptos is very powerful. What we're doing with gold, Robert Kiyosaki always speaks of fiat currencies being rands, dollars, euros, is being the government's money. Guys, we don't have control of that. We think we do, but we don't. We just have to look at Zim to understand. We've got friends in Zim, all of us.
We get in control.
Gold is God's money. And cryptocurrency is the people's money. So when we're taking our control back is what we should be doing. And we are nearing a financial crisis. You can see it by the banks closing down and retrenching. What's that big bank, HSBC, overseas? It's not just South Africa. We think in South Africa, everything's not so great. Oh, if I can just go to New Zealand, if I can just go there, it'll be better. All the countries, look at Greece, look at Mexico. I met people. I met a guy on Robert Kiyosaki's Get Real training course from Mexico City. He comes from an extremely wealthy family. They were stinking rich. He says they had so much money. They went to bed and the next morning they woke up, they had nothing. That is what is doable. If we just realize it and get people to understand it, it sounds pie in the sky. Robert Kiyosaki trained us intricately in 6 days on what do you do when it's D-Day? Where do you go? What is your plan? What are your resources? Who are you tapping into? It's frightening, but it's real. If you have to hear what the big boys have got aligned for when things go pear-shaped, your hair will stand up.
So true. So thanks for that insight and that information. Now, guys, Vish is not talking just because, I mean, she benefits nothing from sharing that information, but I do know, her and Eugene didn't pay petty cash to go to that seminar. Let me tell you, they did not pay petty cash to go to that seminar. This one coming this weekend is petty cash. Okay, the one coming this weekend is petty cash in comparison. All right. So listen to what the big boys are saying. So now you and I, we've opened our hearts to this. We understand what we're talking about. But now, what are we saying and how are we helping the other people in our businesses and our prospects, our family and our friends, into the situation? How are we helping them to realize that there's maybe an opportunity on the table that they should be looking at? And I'm just quickly trying to mute everybody. Please, guys, please could you start learning to have a webinar etiquette every single Monday night? We have a webinar that you guys, Zooms that you hop onto once a week. Can you please have the etiquette to start learning that when you get on, it's your responsibility to mute yourself. Otherwise, this is recorded and you start interfering and we start hearing you eat and your children screaming and you're disagreeing with your wife on the very topic that we're talking about, and that's not good for us. Okay, so guys, please, I think we need to do an etiquette training on this. But guys, please, when you hop on, always hop on and mute yourself immediately. Thank you very much. Okay, so what Michelle and Eugene are saying is so true. So guys, people think they're in a global financial crisis right now. We haven't even started. It's coming. And seriously, it is coming. And we have to really realize that you've seen the banks retrenching left, right, and center. You've seen big companies retrenching. People are skeptical and they don't trust crypto. They say it sounds too good to be true. Totally agree with you, Elise. It is exactly what people are scared about, because they say it can't be. Now, going back to what Michelle was saying and how the system started. So we all know that preschool is actually called kindergarten. We all know that. But where it actually stemmed off from was actually kindergarten, which means children's school. A garden of children. That's actually where it came from. And it actually came from the time when Germany, the Nazis and all the rest of it the World War was happening, and the whole, George will tell me what World War it was. I wasn't around in those days. But that's where kindergarten actually comes from. And it's a garden of children. So what they started doing was, because they were trying to oppress and control the country and control what people were saying, thinking, and doing, they then came and they took the children away from the parents to put them in a garden where they could infiltrate their minds so that they could stay strong and not fight the parents. And this is where the school system actually started from. So if you go back and look at the origin of that, so we're fighting a system, and it's very difficult to fight a system when people are already indoctrinated into that system. Guys, they went to school for many years. A lot of people that you're interacting with now have in actual fact gone off into university and further studies and all the rest of it, so they can do exactly that, get a good job. So we can't help them fight that barrier. So we need to help them to come to a realization that the barrier needs to be broken from an emotional perspective. Okay, I'm not saying sit in front of your prospects and cry your heart out, okay, because that's not going to work. All right, but we need to tie emotion to it. And all along what we've been doing is we have been taught, and there's nothing wrong with the teaching, okay? I just think we need to tweak the teaching. And that is, we need to find a person's why. You see, we're running and trying to sell our product, but we're not looking for the reason why they need our product. And I'm going to say the fine tune for you and I to tweak, okay, to just tweak that little thing, is to establish their why. Now, again, you've heard me say it 1,000,001 times. I hate the saying, so please do not say to anybody you're thinking too small. It must be the most derogatory, the most insulting saying I've ever heard in my entire life, okay? So, you see, a person can only think to the place of their need. Okay, so if their need is 1,000 Rand, and they say to you, I just need 1,000 Rand, and you turn around and insult them by saying, oh, you're thinking too small, you can make 10. There's no reason why they should even consider buying from you, because you've just insulted them. So the very first circle, all of us, and I want you to think about this now. What is your circle of need? Each one of us has a circle of need. I don't know if you can see that. Let's go this way. A need. Okay. So write down for yourselves your circle of need. That means, what do I need every single month to pay just my bills, get my kids to school, no fancy luxuries or anything else like that. Okay. What is my sorry, I'm just trying to twist my camera settings here. It does say mirror image, but anyway, there we go. So what is then your need? Everybody has a circle that is your need. What is your need? I'm not going to ask you to share it or anything, but I do want you to write down what is your need. Now, your need is 100% only to survive on a monthly basis. No luxuries. Okay, no luxuries. It's just pay lights, water, electricity, car, get to work, pay the school fees, buy the groceries that you need without going out to dinner, without going anything, just your need. Do we all know that number? Because most people actually don't know what their need is. So therefore they're saying no to you because they haven't calculated their need. Now, some people have wishes. All right, so the second circle that we have is the more than enough. Okay, more than enough. All right, so we all have a need. Okay, and then our second circle is the more than enough circle. You see, people can't even think in the more than enough circle because they're still trying to work it out what is their need. And so you and I need to come back to helping them to identify what is their need. Now, you and I know that we know that we know. The need is 100%. Okay? None of us are living at 80% of our 100%. We're all living at 120% of our 100%. Wouldn't you agree? So we're all overextending ourselves into a wicked circle, which is the circle of debt. It's not the more than enough circle. So now we're spiraling down instead of spiraling up. So the vortex is pulling us out down because our need is, that's what I need for my household to survive. Now, what happens is everybody's living on the 120, some of us on the 200% because we've got credit cards to the value of our need. All right. Okay. This is reality out there, guys. This is genuine. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm telling you the truth. So if I come to you and I start speaking to you in the third circle, I switch you off. And this is where I think we're going wrong. Sorry, I'm just going to spell the word and hope spell check is working. But that third circle is a circle of abundance. It's the place we all should be, abundance. So the third circle, so all of us have a need circle, a more than enough circle, and then an abundance circle. When we come into our prospects, they are drowning in the need circle. They are drowning in the need circle. And what are you and I doing? You and I are talking to them in the abundance circle. There's a disconnect. So we say, what is your dream? What would you like? Oh, I'd love to be debt free. Okay, cool. But now we've jumped into the abundance circle because now they can't connect. Their desires are in abundance. Okay. So we're talking a language that is not a reality for them. You see, maybe we need to just come backwards a little bit and say to people, what about just maybe? Okay, so I'll give you a perfect example. I have a lady who has got someone to register in her business. The woman has never ever bought a package. Okay, never ever bought a package. Had great desires, got wealth, all the rest of it, but even her wealth, so even if she's earning 120, 200,000 Rand a month, her need circle is 200,000 Rand a month. Get what I'm saying? There's no spare cash. So the cards are maxed, everything is maxed. So when she tweaked her conversation to her friend, just over a cup of coffee, and said, so what is your biggest need that you would need when your daughter goes to varsity next year? She said, my biggest need, okay, my biggest need is if only I could get 5,000 Rand a month to pay for a car for her. Here we're coming with a 3,000 euro package, and this is how much money you're going to make, and you can make 30,000 and 40,000. She's not even thinking. Those figures are, even though, will it solve her problem? Yes. Will it enable her to buy a car cash? Yes. But her mind cannot see that number because her mind can only see the amount of a car payment every single month, because that's what we've been taught. Because that's what we've been taught. Okay? So each and every single one of us need to understand that we need to start looking at what is it that we need to do to identify and speak in the level. So even when you are speaking to, and I remember this from my Amway days. I mean, we were speaking to a multi-millionaire, all right, had all the money in the world, but he had no cash flow. And all he wanted, he needed some cash flow of something like 2,000 Rand a month to send his child to a decent piano teacher. So when I stopped speaking about, oh, you can go diamond with this, and you can, earn 100,000 Rand a month and all this, he's like, I don't have time and energy to get myself to diamond. I don't have time and energy to build a business that big. So then when I learned that, and I said, oh, if we just did this, this, and this in the next 3 months, you could earn a residual income of 2,000 Rand a month. He said, that I can do, because it was his need. So guys, I do believe we're missing the boat because we're trying to make the picture too big for some people. And this could possibly be why we might sign a lot of people into our businesses right now. But what is happening is we're not converting them into business builders because we're not meeting a need. So I just tweaked that a little bit, and since I've been tweaking my conversations and looking at a person's need, what do they want out of something, I've been able to expand my portfolio and really started creating some amazing wealth, because all I'm doing is, in actual fact, just clicking on to finding out what the need, which goes back to what everybody has said here, is that we're so busy. Who's not muted? Please, guys, can you check if you're muted? I mean, I really okay, guys. So from now on, I think I'm just going to remove you from my chat. I can't be trying to find you between 36 people who once muted. I'm just going to find you and remove you. Okay, so because I'm tired of trying to teach Zoom etiquette. So guys, if that person, whoever it was, your downline, I apologize, but please really teach your downline how to mute themselves on a Zoom. Okay, so anybody would like to say some comments on their perspective of what they've learned, if they've got an aha, the reality of it, and that kind of thing. Anybody want to pass a comment? Yes, go for it, Eugene.
Yeah, Mish, I think that's a very good start for everyone. At the end of the day, we kind of get lost with people in the excitement and the moment of how great this product is and where we're going with it and things like that. We kind of forget why people are actually looking at this. We start overselling the package and the product and ourselves in the sense of, yeah, if you do this kind of thing, it can do that for you. And we kind of go back into an investment salesman instead of being a true person looking, where we actually care about the person, that all of us can actually help each other grow into a beautiful future instead of just having some money work for us.
100%, I love that. And when we step into that mode, Eugene, we're stepping into a desperate mode from our perspective. Okay, and when we become desperate, we go into sales mode. when we realize that this is a journey, that this is something that you and I need to go along, and it's a process that you and I need to follow all along, that process that we need to go on is a process that takes us from one step to the next step, and it's all about building relationships. Okay, and if we don't build the relationships as we go along, which was said earlier on, we're not going to be able to identify a person's need. And if we can't identify their need, we're not going to be able to even give them the right package. And then they're going to get upset with us. Okay. Anybody else want to share something? Yes, George.
Michelle, you know what I realized, excuse me, in say the last three to 4 weeks is stop chasing the money, and start helping your people. I mean, I haven't put in the last, I think in the last week and a half, I haven't put in one person into business. I was helping people in the business to help them with their business, and then the money just started coming. A person, I think we must help our team members more, because that is it's gonna bring you the money by helping other people. You mustn't chase the money, because if you chase the money, your focus is on the wrong way. You're focusing in the wrong way. You're focusing on getting the money in, focusing on helping members to do the right thing. I think that is, it changed a lot in the last 3 or 4 weeks for me. I haven't put any sign-ups in the personal sign-ups in the business in the last 2 weeks, I think, or maybe a week and a half about. But there were sign-ups in the business. The sign-ups, there was about 20 sign-ups in a team by helping other people in the team to do their sign-ups.
100%, and it's about, and that's what the business is, because it's our responsibility now. We bring a person into the business. It's our responsibility to say, okay, how do I help you to get that amount that you need? Okay, so yes, please, Paul.
Okay, yeah, I think a lot of us have never made a lot of money outside of a salary. Now you get to a person who has a difficulty with his job, or his difficulty with time, and you tell him you can now, make your salary, you can make up your salary very easy. And you start looking at those numbers, and that's sometimes a barrier.
100%
I've many times sat with Andrew Eaton, and then he says, no, man, why are you thinking about $500 or $1,000? Again, that thing of you're thinking too small. And then I say, but if I can just get there, if I can make the 500 or the 1,000 euros or dollar, then I can say, now I've got the recipe, and now I can double that and double it again.
Awesome, brilliant, absolutely, Paul. And that's where I say we're talking way above where they can even comprehend, and the work that we're asking them to put in to actually get to those numbers, whilst they're still battling with their boss and all the rest of it, and forgetting that this is actually a part-time business, I think is what's putting a lot of people off that as well. Mish, last one. So obviously, the only way you're going to actually get to identifying a person's need is, in actual fact, once you've built a relationship with them. So if you guys are all working in the cold market and going onto your Facebooks and things like that. So let's say, for example, let's use your sister-in-law who's just had a baby. Okay, I mean, that's close, it's family, it's sorry, I just want to read you. How do you make someone believe this will not be now investment, but a lifetime investment with the current situation? People are making enough to start saving for the future. Yep, and that's what we've been talking about. So I think you're going to have to catch the beginning half of the webinar that you missed when you before you hopped on. But let's go for it. Okay, so Mish, let's go back to if I was sitting with let me give you a true live example from my side. So I've got my niece sitting in my house. Okay, now my niece is up having a seminar on from our side, and I'd already given her the information. The last time that she came up, she's been up for the third time now for a course, but she's been up there twice before. Both times I spoke to her about carrot bars, not interested at all. I've spoken to her husband who's an estate agent, no, stay away, scams, Ponzi, the whole trip. This time sat down, chatted, and just said, hey, so how things going? You know, how's work going? What are you, just connecting with all those normal questions about them, that you were trying to get the information from them, what it is that the situation that they are in. Once you know the situation they're in, it's very easy to say, so one of the things that I have learned, and Mish and Eugene, this would be fun. Look at George with his puppy on his shoulder. Too cute. One of the things that I've learned, and this is the space that I come from, is one of the things that I've learned in life is that in my property portfolio, in order for me to have success in my property portfolio, I've always realized the shortfall. Okay, so which means, and then I explain what a shortfall is. It means that I've got an asset that's now being rented out, but I still have other bills that come in outside of my need circle. Okay, so here I've got the need, which is what I need is to pay the bond, the lights, the water, all those kind of things. Then all of a sudden, I get these other expenses, like for example, they break. Oh, guys, can you please mute yourselves? Then you have other things that pop up, like they might break the toilet, they might break, which means that I need to go into my more than enough circle. And if I don't have a more than enough circle, okay, then if I don't make provision for my more than enough circle, now where do I get that extra money from? I'm stymied. Okay, so I've realized that I've had to make sure that I am building enough income to cover my needs, and then I need the more than enough. For example, so one of the things that you're going through now is that just put your kids' school fees up. Now, did you get a job that covered your school fees? And she said, no. I said, so did your job give you that salary increase? No. Is that a problem right now, that where you're going to find the money? What ideas have you got? So I'm asking her for ideas of where she's going to get the money that she needs, because her need circle just increased without her even asking for the need circle to increase. So her circumstances, which is her school fees or whatever it is, pushed her need circle out. Okay, so the first thing she said was, well, maybe I need to cut back here and cut back there. I said, well, how much are you cutting back? And where can you cut back? She said, we actually can't cut back anywhere else. So I said, so what's the solution? And she said, we're going to have to work more hours. And I said, fantastic. So if I could show you a way, that could bring in the school fees, I can't promise you that they're going to come in between now and tomorrow. But if I could show you a way that you could get that money to cover your school fees by January when your kids are back at school, then don't you think that could be something that you could do? She said, yes. I said, right, well, let's start off. Let me show you how you possibly could start. I'm not saying it's a solution, but here's a way that you could consider looking at it. Your biggest hurdling step that you're going to come up with now, which I know you're going to tell me, is I do not have the 2,600. I know you're going to tell me that because you don't have it. But let's think of ways that you could actually do that. You see, I was only talking from her need circle. Just her need circle, and I identified her need circle. Whereas before, I didn't care about her need circle. I just cared about, hey, I've got a great opportunity. You better get on board. See the different attitude coming from that. And these are the conversations that we need to. So all your blue circles, I agree, Mish. It's all about, and Eugene, it's all about stop telling people what you have and what you can do for them, but ask them more questions so that they answer, so you identify what they're actually, where their need is. So you've got a lot of people that are blue circles. Go back to those blue circles. That's all I've been doing is going back. Sorry, blue circles. Go back to the blue circles, not the black circles. They're already in. Go back to them and just have a chat to them. Hey, how's it going since you signed in? How things going? What are you up to? If I had to ask you, what's your biggest need right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, how realistic is it that you can actually get the income for that? So just, you're going to talk from your angle, your perspective. And when she left me she actually said, you know what, I'm really going to go home and have a look. My husband's got a lot of tools lying around the garden that I'm pretty sure we can find 2,600 Rand. See how the conversation changed? Okay, because she saw that possibly that if she did step 1, 2, 3, and 4, by January she can afford school fees. which is just, that's all she actually needed, was just that extra school fee that wasn't, she didn't want to become a millionaire. She didn't want 100,000 Rand. She just wants enough to pay her kids' school fees. So guys, it's so important for us to find needs. Anybody else got a question? Google network marketing, form, absolutely. That's the only way to go is form, FORM or FORD, which is finding their dream. But it is all about, guys, that's what I'm saying. When we are looking for the dreams and all of that, we need to remember, don't go into the big spaces. Come back to the need. The need is going to help you close, not the big circle. The need is going to help you close. And that's all we're looking for, is we're looking for, how can I close someone? Well, it's meeting their needs that's going to help them close. Anybody else want to say? Thanks, Mervyn. Yeah, it's all about them. Show interest in them. Anybody else want to say anything? Or are you happy? Sad? So, I mean, I know somebody, okay, so I know somebody in my downline that their need changed, okay, so they were really earning a really steady, solid 1,000 euros, 1,000 euros, 1,000 euros, 600 euros, 1,000 euros, 1,500 euros, just hopping along like that until their need changed. When their need changed, they managed to get out there, kick-ass strategy changed. They're now earning 5,000 euros. This month, they're more than likely going to hit 10,000 euros because their need changed, not because their dream changed. Dream has still been the same. You see the difference? Dream has still been the same, to be financially free. Okay? But we're not looking for the dream. We're looking for the need. Okay, super. Thanks, Barbara. 2 Barbaras. Dr. Barbara, thank you so much. Awesome. Anybody else want to say anything? No, all good. Yes, Eugene. Awesome.
It's like just us chatting tonight. So, you know, for me, it's kind of like who you want to be out there, who you selling yourself as. You know, the one thing we always got to remember is the way you kind of speak to people and get people involved is the way that people will always remember you. You know, for me, it's all about having ethics and things like that. So at the end of the day, you know, don't lie to people, don't overinflate something, don't push people, don't insult someone when they say no. You know, at the end of the day, you've got what they refer to as, and Mish, you'll know this, and Barry talks about this a lot, is about lag. Okay, so at the end of the day, everything has got lag, and you've got 4 to 6 exposures before that lag catches up to the person. So we're not in a sales game. We're not selling product, okay, indirectly. We're educating people. That's all we're doing. They are making an informed decision whether they want to get involved or not. So if we can take the emotion out of that and actually start helping people instead of closing the sale, I think we'll actually get a lot more people involved.
Totally agree. I mean, you couldn't have said it better to wrap up tonight. It is that lag, guys, and it is that 4 to 6 exposures. And most important, just getting in there, building relationships. I mean, it's long-term journey that we're on, and if we keep that long-term journey and that realization that you're not going to, guys, if you think you're going to close somebody the first time you meet them, you're doing it wrong. There's a handful of people that will do that. There's a handful, all right, but the 80% won't. Actually, even the 95% won't. The 95% of people will actually take the exposures and the time and the journey. They might register for free, check it out, all the rest of it. But there is a journey that they're going to go on, and it's going to be a process. So don't give up on them. And please, I love what Eugene said, please don't be rude with them. Okay, don't get shirty with them, don't get aggravated with them, don't get full of nonsense with them, that kind of thing. Just keep taking them on that journey, and feed them ask them the questions, and then give them the information based on the questions that they come. But make it more about them than about you, because the answer is always in the question. No, not Dr. Anthony, Dr. Michelle. My husband's trying to claim something that I told him and tweeted him like 20 years ago. But anyway, he's on the other side of the table here. Ain't going that way, guys. So the answer is in the question. That's what we've got to remember. So write it down big everywhere. The answer that you're looking for is in the question. So the questions you ask is going to give you the answers that you need in order to help you close. Awesome. Anybody else want to ask a question? All good? Great. We need to bring the education process, because people have been fed a lot of total different systems of enslavement all their lives, and bring the ideal of financial freedom takes time. 100%. You know, and this goes back to one of the reasons that we were talking about earlier on, is that people feel scammed. And scammers, you see, what's going to differentiate you from a scammer is the fact that you take time and take them through a process. Scammers want to close a sale immediately because they want the money. Okay, that's what's going to differentiate us. Scammers are going to push them for the money. Scammers are going to demand that they sign up immediately. But if we take time and take them through a process, that's where we're going to make ourselves, put ourselves in a different bracket. And it is about taking them through that process and making sure that you stick with them, like whatever it is that, you know, you've got your team meetings, your team chats, your team groups, your team, you know, WhatsApps, putting them on the WhatsApps, those kind of things. It's education, education, education. Awesome, thanks. But yep, relationship first, sales last. The sale will come. The sale is going to be built on trust. And if the sale is built on trust, you've got a lifetime partner. That's the most important thing. And a lifetime partner creates a situation where we all want to help each other to create the financial freedom that we're wanting, the big dream, the desires. But that's not where it starts. It starts with, if you can help them meet a need, then you're going to be able to close that sale, because you now understand what products you have that closes those needs. Great. Anything else, guys? Or we're all good? Keith, you good? George, you good? Bernarda, you good? Robert, good. Elise, I can see you. You're good. Awesome. Cool, man. Miss Eugenie, you're all good? Thank you for your questions and your input. I really appreciate it. I think we actually need to do one from what you guys have actually learned from Robert, and seriously do a Zoom on that, because that's really going to maybe help a lot of people with their own personal mindset of moving into the space and understanding. Awesome. Great. Thank you, guys. That's all I wanted to share today, was please the tweak that I've made, that I've been successful, really successful over these last when I say really successful, I mean really successful in closing over the last 3 weeks. It has been because I've been focusing on the need and not actually the dream and desire. Okay, cool. Love you all, and pleasure. Chat to you all soon. See you next week, Monday. Cheers, guys.